Hey there, today I'm going to be sharing 3 quick tips for taking awesome DIY brand portraits right at home. Let's get started. Okay, tip number 1, you must have excellent lighting. So this goes for any photo, but especially a brand portrait, because in order for your photo to look high quality and professional, which is so important with a brand portrait, you have to have great lighting. So I love natural lighting for almost everything. It just tends to give the softest and most beautiful light of all. Some of the things you want to look out for, you want to avoid direct light, so light that comes directly from a source to hit you, like sun directly from the sun to hit your face, not a great look. And you don't want to use like the pop-up flash on your camera or your smartphone or anything like that. Too much brightness, too much highlights, it's not a cute look. So avoid that for sure. Now, also a quick tip in terms of lighting, make sure that there's no light behind you. So if you are taking a photo with a window behind you, I don't care how beautiful that view is out the window behind you, it's going to be a bad photo. So do not do that. So keep the light in front of you. Make sure that it is indirect, soft light, and your photo's going to look super professional. Okay, tip number 2 is posing. I know this is something that so many people struggle with when it comes to any kind of portraits of themselves at all, but especially when they're trying to take photos of themselves. Now, here's a fun fact. Everyone has a side. Have you ever heard people say like, "Ooh, make sure you get my good side"? It's true. Everyone does have a good side. So I want you to channel your inner America's Next Top Model participant and check out your angles in the mirror in your bathroom, because there will likely be one side of your face that is a little more easy to photograph than the other. And that is the side that you want to try to make the angle with the camera. So rather than look straight onto the camera like this, you want to take a little bit of a this or a little bit of a this. Make sure that you are just slightly angled when it comes to taking your photo. Same with your shoulders, you can angle them differently. And a fun hot tip, if you have the chin thing like I do, put the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And it helps the chin come up. That is a fun one. Tip number 3 is editing. You do have to edit those brand portraits. This can spell bad news for some people, because I know a lot of people are really overwhelmed of the idea of editing, confused, not really sure what you should do, what program you should be using, what steps you need to be taking. Editing can be kind of tricky, can feel kind of overwhelming, but all you need to focus on is a few small things. You can even use just an app on your phone. I really like the Lightroom app for editing. It's free, it does what it needs to do, and it does something called embedding a color profile, which helps maintain the integrity of the colors in your photos when you're using them online. So that is really crucial. So any of the Adobe products are going to do that for you. There are a few other programs, but let's try to keep it simple for now. Stick with Adobe and you'll be good to go. The Lightroom app is free on your phone, so that is a bonus. Do a real quick edit, crop how you need to crop. It's square usually for Instagram, as you know. Try to pay attention to those dimensions and make sure you're not getting something that will be difficult to use across your different platforms. And then do a really quick tweak of the tones so you can actually adjust the sliders of highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. Try to adjust those individually as opposed to using just the exposure slider, which changes all the tones in an image and it's a little bit too aggressive. So you can kind of fine tune the things to make it look as realistic as possible. That's the goal. You want to try to make the photo look realistic, genuine. You don't want it to look really contrasted. You don't want it to look super washed out. Just try to find that nice balance where it does look like it's just, you put a little makeup on it. You have the photo and then you just spruce it up a little bit. And last but not least, if there's any weird color issues happening in your photos, there may be a bit of a weird color cast because of what your camera did, or maybe there's something in the environment that's casting a bit of a color glare. You can just adjust that with the color balance sliders. Usually it is between blue and yellow. You can just kind of adjust that a little bit very carefully, very slightly, just a tiny bit at a time. Make sure you don't take it too far. Try to get those colors to look genuine, to look realistic as they did in real life. That is the purpose of editing, is to try to just take your camera's shortcomings, apply these few quick edits to make them look more professional, more realistic, and then you're good to go. It's actually really quite simple. Okay, guys, that is it. That is my 3 quick tips for having great brand portraits. Okay, now you actually can do this all on your own, I promise. And I know this because I have taught people it before, and Further to that, I have a workshop starting next week. It's called Shine, and it is a DIY brand portrait workshop for online entrepreneurs. And you, my friend, are invited, providing that you see this video before that workshop actually starts. So it is going to be an amazing week. The video drops on Monday. You can get started right away. And then throughout the week, I'm going to be in the pop-up Facebook group doing 3 different Facebook Lives to answer your questions, to give you feedback on your photos, and to touch base and give any additional tips and advice that I think would be helpful for you. And basically just to make sure that you are able to achieve the brand portraits, because I know sometimes it can be intimidating at the thought of going it alone. And I'm going to make sure, my friends, that you are not doing that during this workshop. It's going to be tons of fun. So please get signed up. The link is going to be in the profile, amytakespictures.com/shine. There is no better time than right now to be working in your business. So let's get together for the workshop. In that week, we are going to work together, produce something beautiful and tangible that we can use for our business. It's going to help us hit the ground running. And as soon as this whole thing is over, we're going to be poised and in a position to take our businesses to the next level. Let's make the most of this strange time we're living in and achieve some stuff, right? Okay, so that is it. Go ahead, sign up in the link in the description. I'll see you in the pop-up Facebook group. And in the meantime, don't forget to hit subscribe so you get a notification every time I release a new video. And I'll see you next week.